Good morning, children. Welcome to today's section. Children, our third lesson, working with functions, is over. Okay, now I believe you all understood how to define a function and how to pass parameters into a function and how to return values from a function. Okay, so let's start our next lesson, that is using Python libraries. See, children, in this lesson, you will study about libraries. Okay, what are modules and libraries? Okay, libraries is related with modules. Okay, see, while studying these functions, you studied the built-in functions. Built-in functions are the inbuilt functions that you can use by writing a program. For example, math. So while saying about that function, I said, okay, while taking that topic, I said you have to import the math module to use this math function. Okay, so in this lesson, you will study this type of functions in detail. Okay, so first topic is module. See, children, a Python module is a file. File means .py file. .py means is Python file. It containing variables, class, definitions, statements and functions related to a particular task. Okay, a Python module is a file. Okay, that means it is a part of a program. Okay, it's a part of program. We already know a subprogram is a part of a program. It may contain variables, class, definitions, statements and functions. Okay, just like the Python module is a file containing variables, class, definitions, statements and functions related to a particular task. In this lesson, you just need to study only the definitions of module. Okay, in the revised syllabus, the module, importing module and how to define modules. Okay, that everything is deleted in the revised syllabus. Okay, then our next one is a library. A library refers to a collection of modules that together cater to specific type of needs or applications. Okay, collection of modules. Okay, that together cater to specific type of needs or applications. Okay, so to use these libraries, this is the syntax to import the library. Okay, that is import full name of library. Here you can specify which library you want to import. That one you can specify here. This is the syntax. Okay, import full name of library. This is the syntax. Next one, Python built-in mathematical functions. Okay, so in this lecture video, actually you need to study only two types of functions, mathematical functions and string functions. All other topics are deleted in the revised syllabus. So in this mathematical functions, so many functions are there. Today I will explain only mathematical functions on the next lecture video. In the next lecture video, I will explain the string functions. Okay, let's move with these mathematical functions. First one, len. You already know that you already use this len function in your program to use length of a string. Like that, the len is used to find the length of a string or any iterable variables. Okay, that is, for example, len of abc. Len of abc will give 3 because abc 3 characters. That's why it returns 3. Next one, POW. POW is used to find the power. Okay, so it returns a raised to b when a and b are given as arguments. Okay, when you give a raised to b, okay, if you want to find a raised to b, then you can send this, both a and b are the arguments. So here I am giving 3 and 3, so it find the power of 3 raised to 3. Okay, it will find 3 raised to 3, that is 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3, 27. So you will get the answer 27. Next one, str. Str converts a number to a string. For example, str 12.4. It converts this number to string, that's why this single quotes. Okay, next one, int. Int converts an integer convertible string to integer. Okay, integer convertible string into integer. See here this 12. Okay, 12 is an integer number. By given this 12 in single quotes, it will be a string. So int of this 12 means it will convert this string 12 to its integer. Next one, float. This float function returns the floating point value. Here this number is given in single quotes, so it will treat as a string. But while using this float keyword, it will convert this string its corresponding floating point. So the answer is 12.2. Next function, range. Range returns an immutable sequence type. That is, range of 3 will give 0, 1, 2. It will give numbers from 0 to 2. Okay, sequence of numbers till this number. Okay, range of 5 will give 0 to 5. Okay, next one, type. Type returns the data type of passed argument. Okay, see here. In this example, type of 12. So 12 is an integer number. That's why it returns class int. Okay, which type of element we passed, that type will be given as the answer. That type will return as the answer. So here type of 12. 12 is an integer type. That's why it returns class int. Next one, ABS of X. Okay, it will takes an integer or a floating point number as argument and returns the absolute value of a number. Okay, ABS function is used to return absolute value of a number. Okay, here I am giving 3 examples. On the first example, ABS of 12. ABS of minus 12. So its absolute value is 12. Okay, then ABS of 12.5 will give 12.5. ABS of minus 12.5 will give 12.5. That is, this function returns its absolute value. Next one, div mod AB. Okay, div mod AB. Div mod AB means it takes 2 non-complex numbers as arguments and returns a pair of numbers consisting of their quotient and remainder. Okay, it takes 2 arguments and returns the quotient and a remainder. See here we have 2 numbers 7, 2. Okay, so it one is used to find the modulus, that is both quotient and remainder will give. Okay, so 3 2s are 6, then remainder 1. So 3 is quotient and 1 is remainder. Here div mod 7.25, 2.5. Okay, so 2 into 7.25 is 5. Sorry, 2 into 2.5 is 5. Then the remainder is 2.25. So the answer is 2.0 and 2.25. Okay, here these 2 numbers are floating point. That's why the answer is 2.0. Next function is sum of I triple. Sum of I triple. That means it returns sum of the items of an I triple from left to right and returns the total. I triple means the increasing order. Okay, iteration. Iteration, you know, iterations are 0, 1, 2, 3 till the number will repeat. Okay, that's why these iterable elements we will start from here. In the increasing order or in the ascending order will take. So sum of iterable means, see the example, sum of this list 2, 3, 4 is given. So it will add all these numbers starting from 2. So 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9. So the answer is 9. Next example, this one is a tuple. So sum of 2.5, 3, 5.3. So 2.5 plus 3 is 5.5. 5.5 plus 5.3 is 10.8. So the answer is 10.8. For the sum function, we have 2 methods, that is sum of I triple and sum of I triple comma argument. Okay, in this case, first we'll add these I triple elements. Then this argument will add to this sum. For example, here one list is given, that is sum of 2, 4, 5 is given. In this case, first we'll add 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 5 is 16. Sorry, our answer is right. So the answer is 16. Then sum of 2.3, 4, 3.2. Okay. 2.3 plus 4, 6.3, then 3.2, that is 9.5 plus 3, 12.5. Okay, that is sum of iterable comma argument means the iterable arguments. Okay, that is the first elements will add it first, then the 5 will add to the sum. Okay, that is sum of iterable comma argument. Then our next example or the next function is max of iterable. This function is used to find the maximum of the arguments or maximum of the numbers. For example, max of 3, 5 returns the maximum of these elements. Okay, by saying this we can easily find out 5 is the maximum number, so it will returns this 5. Here max of 3, 5, 9, 10. In this case 10 is the maximum number, so it will returns 10. Here max of 12, 14, 45, 40. In this case 45 is the maximum number, so it will return this 45. Okay, there are two methods to use this max function, max of iterable and max of arg1, arg2, etc. That is argument 1, argument 2, etc. See the example for second case, max of 3, 5, 9. So first one is a list, comma this 7. Okay, in this case, it will return the maximum number. Okay, it will return the maximum number. But same maximum of 2 tuple arguments returned. That is the tuple that begin with a higher value is returned. So here we have 2 tuples first. Sorry, here we have 2 lists. This one is the first list. This one is the second list. Okay, so which list is begins with the higher value? So this is the higher value list. So the answer will be 7. This is a tuple. In this case, which tuple is begins with the higher value, that will return. So 7 is the higher value tuple, or the second tuple is begin with the higher value. That's why the second list will return as the answer. So this function is used to find the maximum of the numbers. Next one, minimum. Okay, min of iterable and min of arg1, argument 2, etc. Two methods. First one, min of iterable. In this case, min of 3, 5 means it will return minimum of 3 and 5. Okay, so it will return the 3 as the answer. Second example, min of 3, 5, 9, 10. This one is a tuple. Okay, among these numbers, 3 is the minimum number. That's why it will return this 3 as the answer. Then third example is a list. Okay, in this list, 12, 14, 45 and 40. So among these numbers, 12 is the minimum value. That's why this function returns 12. Okay, next syntax is min of argument 1, argument 2, etc. That is min of, this one is a list. Okay, 2 lists are given as argument. First list contains 3, 5, 9. Second list contains 7. So which list is begin with the minimum number, that will return. Okay, so the first list is begin with the minimum number. Here the number is 3. Here the number is 7. So this list will return. In the second example, 3, 5, 9, 10 and second tuple is 7. Okay, in this case, which tuple is begin with the smallest one or smallest number, that tuple will return. So first tuple, first element is 3. That's why this is the smallest element. That's why this tuple will return as the answer. Okay. The next function is octet of integer and hex of integer. Octet of integer returns octal string for given numbers. For example, n is equal to 24. Then octet of n will return the octal value of this 24. That is 0030. Then hex of integer will return the hexadecimal value of this number. Here n is equal to 24 and hex of this 24 will return 0x18. This is the hexadecimal value for this 24. Okay children, so these are the different mathematical functions used in this math library. Okay, so you please study all these functions thoroughly because it will ask in the fill in the blanks question or one word question will ask from this section. We'll see you again with the string functions. Till then, bye. Thank you.